From the sea, however, the beaches of the Agriats were the first to be reached by invaders coming from the mainland. In the 16th century, the endangered populations finally abandoned their permanent settlements and retreated inland. The Agriats became public farm and grazing land for neighboring communities during the summer months.
At the beginning of the century, the harsh lands of the Agriats, less productive than those of the colonies, forced entire communities to cross the seas. Cultivation came to a halt for lack of labor and for lack of shepherds. The local sheep pens called paillets fell into ruin. Now abandoned, the Agriats have recovered their original aspect. Programs have been started to protect and explore this natural environment, so that in these days of real estate development, it may preserve its wild and unique character. Along the west coast, Corsica has other secrets to reveal for those who care to stray from the beaten path. Between Porto, a tiny port known for its square tower, and Piana, several kilometers further south, extends an area called E Calanche. These are singular rock formations, remarkable because of their shapes and their red color.
The paths which wind along these jagged cliffs seem to invite us to explore their many hidden recesses. The rocks are made of granite and porphyry. Feldspar is what gives them their strikingly vivid color. The shapes are formed by the many fractures which cut out blocks of granite. These are subjected to erosion which rounds them out into a chaotic mass of balls. Meanwhile, the rocks are being transformed by a more particular form of erosion called taphonu, meaning the hole. It starts when a crystal disappears and then develops from the inside. This curious phenomenon is caused by alternating hydration and desiccation. It breaks up the surfaces, freeing tiny flakes of rock. The taphonu stamps recesses or cavities into the rock, and in some cases digs deeply, forming shelters which have always been used by shepherds.
Making its daily journey across the sky, the sun plays with holes and curves, adorning the cliff walls with patterns of shadow and light. The light dims, shadows lengthen, and the world is transformed. In 1880, Guy de Maupassant was strongly impressed by the Calanque, the creeks. In his novel, A Life, his characters live out the emotions which he experienced several years earlier.
They set out at sunrise, and before long they stood facing a forest of crimson granite. There were peaks, columns, pinnacles, amazing figures modeled by time, the biting wind and the sea mist. Reaching as high as 300 meters, thin, plump, twisted, crooked, deformed, unexpected, fantastic, these astonishing rocks resembled trees, plants, animals, monuments, men, monks in robes, horned devils, enormous birds, a monstrous gathering of people, a nightmare menagerie petrified through the will of some extravagant god.